In 1993, a bunch of country artists get together and record an album called Common Thread: Songs of the Eagles. And on it, Travis Tritt recorded a song, and for his music video, he wanted all 5 of the Eagles to appear in the video. And interestingly enough, they did. So we had Henley, Frey, Walsh, Schmidt, and Felder all together. Well, yeah, hell must have froze over, because shortly thereafter, the Eagles reunite. Let's drop the needle. In 1994, the Eagles performed the first time since reuniting and record a live album at the concert, and it's also filmed for MTV as a special. Now, when it starts, Glenn Frey comes out and says, "For the record, we never broke up. We just took a 14-year vacation." The resulting album is called Hell Freezes Over, which was taken from the line that Don Henley used repeatedly when the press would ask him when the Eagles would get back together. He'd always say, "When hell freezes over." Well, here it is. The album contains 4 new songs: Get Over It, Love Will Keep Us Alive, both singles, and then The Girl From Yesterday and Learn to Be Still. The public warmly helped thaw hell, and the album sold 6 million copies. The band then went on tour, and in 1998 they're inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All 7 Eagles, Don Henley, Glenn Frey, Don Felder, Joe Walsh, Timothy B. Schmidt, Randy Meisner, and Bernie Leadon were there and performed. Then the tour continues without Meisner or Leadon. At the end of 1999, 2 concerts were recorded for a multiple CD set, which was to be called Selected Works, and this would mark the last appearance of Don Felder with the Eagles. And the reason why Felder decided to leave again is because he discovered, while they were getting ready to release the Selected Works group of CDs, that it had been negotiated that Don Henley and Glenn Frey would make 3 times the amount of money that the other members of the Eagles were going to make. So Felder quits and sues them, and he tries to get Timothy B. Schmidt and Joe Walsh to join him, but they end up declining. Without Felder, the band continues to tour, and then in 2003, they release an album called The Very Best Of. It encompasses hits from their entire career. It reaches number 3 in the charts. In 2005, they release a 2 DVD set, which is ironically called The Farewell One Tour, live from Melbourne. But obviously it wasn't really their farewell tour. They're still out there today. In 2007, the 4 Eagles released The Long Road Out of Eden. It's their first album of new material since 1979, and it's a sprawling double album. Uncommonly for the Eagles, the records include some very long songs, such as Waiting in the Weeds at almost 8 minutes, the title track, Long Road Out of Eden, at over 10 minutes, and Last Good Time in Town at 7 minutes. I also like No More Walks in the Woods, How Long, Busy Being Fabulous, and It's Your World Now. The album is a big hit, reaching number 1 in both the UK and the US. And of course, a worldwide tour follows. And then in 2013, they put out a documentary which is called The History of the Eagles. And then they continue to tour. But then, on January 18th, 2016, Glenn Frey dies at the age of 67 in a hospital after recovering from intestinal surgery. Henley says that in honor of Glenn, he did not think the band would ever perform again. But after the death of Glenn, they did reform again, and they went out on the road again. Glenn's son, Deacon Frey, joined the band, and country artist Vince Gill came on board as well. And tour they did. A lot. In 2020, a live soundtrack from the tour was released. It's the first Eagles album without Glenn Frey. It's called Live from the Forum, MMXVIII. And if you know Roman numerals, they'll know what that means. They then started a Hotel California tour, where they decided they would play the entire album in sequence. But that got interrupted by COVID. And after COVID was over, they continued. In 2022, Deacon Fry decides that he's going to leave the Eagles to pursue a solo career. But he periodically appears on stage with them as they're still performing. In 2023, Randy Meisner dies at the age of 77. Now, as usual, I've created a Spotify playlist where you can listen to some of the songs that I've talked about in this episode. And here's the link, and I'll also put it in the comments below. And that's The Long Road, the story of a band that started out backing Linda Ronstadt, went on to record some incredible albums along the way, had some incredible breakups and fights along the way. But today, they're still appearing. They've been playing at the Sphere out in Las Vegas. So the Eagles have certainly had that long run, and I can't say it was an easy one. I can't say they took it easy, but they did, in fact, take it to the limit. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep it rockin'. If you liked this episode, hit the like button, and you can also leave me a comment down below, and I'll respond to you. If you subscribe, we'll let you know when future episodes come out.